is Unity of Flagstaff, and we are welcoming you and all of you to our first Sunday of Advent. First Sunday of Advent, we step into a place of faith. Now, I find it interesting. I'm going to go get my notes as if I'm going to use them. I find it interesting that we start with faith because preparing for the Christ presence to be birthed within, what better story than that of Mary, the mother of the baby Jesus? Now, whatever your belief is, and we have a lot of them here in Unity, about the Christmas story and about the metaphysical take on that. But you got to admit this, she's a great example of faith, whatever your belief about the Christmas story might be. And our work is to birth the Christ presence within in this time as we prepare to move toward the big event, the big event. And there's a lot of preparation that goes into a big event. We do small events here. And look around at some of the folks that may look a little tired. It's because they've been putting this small event together. It takes energy, it takes commitment, and it takes faith that the roads will be open, the chairs will be filled, that the hearts will be open, that the souls will be filled. So becoming aware of our divine nature is what the birthing of the Christ presence within means. It's already there, folks. It's right there. And we catch glimpses of it. We spend years developing and studying and working on it. And every year at this time, we are given the opportunity to rebirth that presence within. That presence that acknowledges our divine nature. Now think about that. Your divine nature. It's just who you is. It's who you be. It's what you came here to express. That makes it pretty darn important, don't you think? And the first step toward that is faith. Now, this is the question I have for you today. It won't be the only question. I always have lots of questions for you. But this is the first one. Do you, in fact, practice a faith of overcoming or a faith of belief? A faith of overcoming or a faith of belief, and both are perfect. Personal experience is this, and when I read the masters through the history of this world, it is the faith of belief that is sustainable. Because if our faith is always that of overcoming, we get really tired. It's hard to show up. It's tough to be us some days. And I'm not saying it isn't, because some days it is. And when we sweep in and reconnect with our faith of belief, it gets easier. A faith of belief is exactly what Mary displayed and demonstrated for us. Check this out. Young girl gets pregnant out of wedlock. And we're not talking in 2018. We're talking a long time ago. There were a lot of stories about that. There were a lot of beliefs about that. And she hears within her own divinity that this is hers to do. And her only response was this: may it be as you have said. Now that is not about overcoming. She didn't say, get away from me. She didn't say, not this girl. She didn't say, I ain't doing that. She didn't say, I'm going to figure out how to get out of this. She said, as you say it should be. And she was so connected to a deep faith of belief that in the face of every resistance and negative that she could run into, she moved forward. Because her faith was one of belief, not just about overcoming the situation. And then Joseph, her fiance, says, road trip. Really? Teenage girl? Donkey? Bethlehem? Truly? This young being was so connected to her faith as a belief that she was willing to do it. She was willing to go. Where in your life could you exchange that faith of overcoming for that faith of belief? And you might see a different result. Just curious. Chuck, as I refer to him lovingly, Charles Fillmore, says faith is a deep inner knowing. That which is sought is already there for the taking. Faith is waiting to be freed from within you. We don't have to go out there and get it. We don't have to get more of it. It resides within you as a divine child of God. Now we're talking about faith and belief. I have a little saying about faith. It's easy when it's easy, and it's faith when it ain't. And when I get out of overcoming what is in front of me, and I move into a place of faith, I get to be a greater expression of who I am called into. It is my divine nature to birth the Christ presence within. It is my divine expression to be that which I am called into. It is mine to say, may it be as you have said. This is who we're called into in this season. And if you need a really great example to remember, look at Mary. If you forget, this community is here. We're here to give you hope. That's our work for each other. And to support each other in moving into a place of belief. A place of knowing, regardless of all the resistance, regardless of all that is in front of us, that makes it look completely crazy. We have that opportunity. And in this season, you get to say, you know what? I'm going to turn that up a notch. You know what? I'm going to move my faith into a place that I can say, got it. God's got me, and I'm all right. And it's snow. And the minister calls the board president at 7:15 and says, are we having service? Yeah, just moved from Southern California. Lived in Phoenix for 30 years. And she, like that, moved me into a place of belief that we can do this. That regardless of what the appearances are, we can make this happen. That God is still greater, and that my faith is based in belief, not based in overcoming. Because you know what? I can't make it stop snowing. I tried at 7:15. I did. Martin Luther King says this: faith is taking the first step even when you don't see the whole staircase. And what I can tell you is this journey and this adventure that we are on is one that is taking us to a higher expression of who we are. It is one that invites us into a faith of belief. It is one that we can handle. We can rise up to the occasion. And this community is here to support you in that. So thank you. Namaste.
Thank you.